When I think of the women I admire wholeheartedly, Black women who show up in the world as queens, powerhouses, and leaders, unapologetic, bold, and excellent, here are my top 5. Michelle Obama, Oprah, Beyonce, Serena, and Bozoma Saint John. Chief marketer, fashionable mogul, and boss mommy. When I created MommiNation, I wanted to create a space for moms to come to feel inspired, not just to be great moms, but to continue walking in their purpose. Bozoma models that perfectly. I flew out to LA and caught up with her. Check it out. All right, so let's get right to it. I guess the first question we have to ask, because this is MommiNation, is what was your journey like to motherhood? Did you always want to be a mom?
No, I didn't actually. No, I
wasn't expecting that.
No. I was very focused on my career. Early on, I had a great mom who told me to wait. She was like, get your career together. Yeah. If you want to get married, fantastic. Yeah. If you don't, that's okay. Don't rush anything. Yeah. And so, of course, I fell in love early.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was married by 26.
Really?
Yeah. And then I really just wanted to focus on my career. And so I was not ready to be a mom. Yeah. And I had one of those moments where I was just like, I think I'm pregnant,
Yeah.
And that was the start of my journey.
Awesome. I think a lot of moms can relate to that. You've shared very openly and honestly about what happened with your first child, which I know was really tough. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience with your first child?
No, I don't mind talking about it because I feel like, we need to talk more often about our challenges with fertility and our challenges with pregnancy and our challenges as mothers. Everyone paints it as this fantastic rosy picture, but sometimes it's not. There's a lot of gray in there and sometimes dark days. Yeah. And for me, it meant that when I found out I was pregnant the first time, I was unsure about whether or not I really wanted to be a mother. But of course, with the responsibility and feeling like, well, I'm in a happy relationship, I am good in my career, I can do this, and feeling pretty confident about the process just because I didn't know anyone who'd had hard pregnancies before.
Right.
And about 6 months into my pregnancy, I had what was pre-eclampsia. Early onset preeclampsia, which meant that my doctors advised that I deliver right away. Unfortunately, my daughter was not ready to be born, and we knew the challenges going in, but we had to deliver anyway, and unfortunately she didn't survive.
And then 3 months later, you got pregnant again.
Yes,
and it was a successful story with the beautiful Lael, right?
Yes, exactly. But the good thing is that I was aware of the challenges, and therefore I got a better doctor. I was very concerned about my own health, right? And therefore was more active in my pregnancy. And, Lael was also born preemie, very preemie.
Really?
At 7 months. And so I only had a month after, the first one. And listen, the truth of the matter also is that I was really scared during my pregnancy. I didn't have the happy, joyful pregnancy. And I was constantly in fear of what could happen again. I mean, trauma is a terrible thing. And I didn't have anyone to confess my fears to. And so that's another thing that I really want us to be able to talk more about as mothers, or just our challenges, our insecurities, the things that we're afraid of.
And then things are good. You have Lael, you're in a happy marriage, your career is going well.
Yeah.
And then tragedy strikes again.
Yes.
And you lose your husband to cancer in 2013 when Lael was just 4. For me, we're in such a time, just lost Nipsey Hussle, and these things you hope never happen.
Right.
But my question for you is, how did you handle that as a wife and also as a mother? Like, how did you comfort Lael through that? And do you guys still grieve now and deal with that?
Yeah. Well, I think that's just it too about motherhood. You're always trying to protect. You're always trying to make sure that nothing bad happens to your kids. And so it's really, really tough when you have a hard situation to explain to your kids. I got the best advice actually from another mother during that time. She said, bring your daughter along. Don't hide from the horrors and the hard stuff. Let her see you cry. Let her see your frustration. Let her see your joy. Let her see all of the emotion, because it will help her also be able to talk to you about it and be open about it.
And process it.
Yeah, and so we had that, and still do. To this day, I think it's one of the most magical things about our relationship that she knows when I feel sad and therefore can ask me about it. I know when she does, and she's not ashamed to share it with me.
That's awesome. So I want to transition into Bozoma, the boss mommy. I know you call yourself super execu mommy, which we love that too.
I got a cake.
Yes, we love that. So Bozoma, your career started, you started working with Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Left from there, went to PepsiCo.
Yeah.
And you were there for 10 years, right? Over a decade, did some phenomenal things at PepsiCo. Then from there to Uber, right? You were the
To Apple.
To Apple, yes.
To
No, Beats by Dre. Beats by Dre, guys. And then that was bought. Then you were at Apple.
Yes.
I mean, and then from there you went to Uber, and now you're at William Morrison Endeavor.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think that you've accomplished so much in your career, just what most of us dream of accomplishing in a lifetime. You've already done that. And so my first question is, well, how do you define a boss mommy or your super executive mommy?
Well, I mean, I think just any mom who feels like she can navigate the spaces she's in confidently.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean perfectly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean without failure or fear or insecurity. It's just being able to navigate it to the best of your ability. So to me, it's like, some days, I miss the practice.
Yeah.
Some days I don't make the cookies from scratch and I have to buy them from the grocery store and put them on a plate.
Right.
And that's okay
because
I'm able to walk into the office, take care of what I need to do at the office, come home and do that too.
Awesome.
And sometimes it's not perfect. A lot of times it's very messy.
Yeah.
But the boss in me allows me to know that I'm doing the best that I can and that whatever I'm giving 100% at that very moment. So if that's at the office, I'm giving 100%.
Yeah.
If it's at home, I'm giving 100%. If it's with my girlfriends, I'm giving 100%.
Nice. The thing that I'm fascinated most about your career and your journey is how you were able to maintain your authenticity while climbing the corporate ladder. I think especially as Black women, you always feel this need to conform, whether it's our hair, our makeup, our language. How are you able to maintain? Because that's what I see about you. You are Bozoma through and through, and I love it.
Always. You know what I realized? It was an epiphany. Was that if you were going to judge me on my hair or my lipstick or my high heels or my too tight skirt or the print on my body, you're going to judge me anyway. It doesn't matter if I come in the gray suit and I try to look like you. Yeah. You're going to judge me. And so I wanted to just come as fully of myself as I could be because it makes me feel powerful and makes me feel confident, makes me feel happy. And therefore, I feel the best when I am fully myself. It also is really distracting to try and pretend to be somebody else. You can't do what you do the way that you should do it if you're trying to be Sally over there.
Right.
So I could just be me.
I love that. I do. So my final question for you, Bozoma, is what is your end goal? What's going to make Bozoma a happy woman and a happy mommy?
Woo, end goals. I feel like I'm living goals right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You are living goals.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals.
Okay. Hashtag living goals.
Yes.
Yeah. I really feel like there is no end to when I turn around and say, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
I want to keep accomplishing. I want to keep doing it until the very end. So there is no end goal. I'm living it every day.
Well, I couldn't be more excited for you to be my first celebrity interview on MommiNation. For me, I feel like you embody what I want my mommies and my nation to see, a woman who's living out her dreams and doing it at such a high level. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Let's go, nation. MommiNation.